Hey, welcome to this mini lecture. My name is Dino. It's on environmental activism, Fridays for Future. To make a really big context, I'm going to talk briefly about what is climate change. It is a long-term shift in temperatures and weather patterns. Since the 1800s, human activities have been the main driver of climate change, primarily due to the burning of fossil fuels like coal, oil, and gas. From this idea of climate change and how that's occurred, what is environmental activism? It is the actions of individuals or groups that protect or aid the environment. There's a kind of a process involved. You want to identify the issues that threaten the planet's viability, from community to global concerns, and then develop strategies to promote awareness or produce solutions that directly address the problem. So ideally, environmental activism can help cope or deal with progressively any problems that are happening with the environment. Here's some facts within the U.S. context from Pew, these researchers. The majority of Americans say big business and the energy industry, as well as ordinary Americans, do too little on climate. Almost two-thirds oppose phasing out fossil fuels, which is obviously a cause. Gen Z and millennials are more active online and offline in terms of activism than their forebears. Similarly, more of them are willing to phase out gas-powered cars. So we'll see about fossil fuels and how that might change in the future. In terms of climate activist history, one of the biggest organizations is Greenpeace. It's a network of independent organizations which uses peaceful, creative confrontation to expose global environmental problems and develop solutions for a green and peaceful future. So they sort of set the sort of standard for organized, independent environmental action. And it's funny that the contrast here of both peaceful and confrontation, which is funny. We're going to specifically talk about the hashtag Fridays for Future, and that's sort of started by Greta Thunberg. For those of you who haven't seen, there's a picture of her right there, lower right. She's a teenager from Sweden, and she's a climate activist. She's the founder of the Fridays for Future hashtag. As she has said, you are never too small to make a difference, which I think helps to draw in youth. What is the Fridays for Future? It started in August 2018. At that time, Greta stood in front of the Swedish Parliament for 3 weeks protesting the lack of climate action by their government. She wanted the Parliament to have some progressive targets and action to deal with climate. And her goals were the climate course of action to be well below 2 degrees Celsius or in accordance with the Paris Agreement, whichever they wanted to meet. From all this, she started the Fridays for Future hashtag. She shared her protest on Twitter and Instagram. So social media was key to this. Content quickly went viral. It eventually shifted to weekly Friday protests instead of every day. It eventually became a global movement. So what's the impact? It has become an international movement that includes climate strikes every week on Friday. They have 3 major demands. Keep the global temperature rise below 1.5 degrees Celsius compared to pre-industrial levels, follow the Paris Agreement and ensure climate justice, as well listen to the best united science currently available, which in this era of disinformation is probably harder than any of us would like. And the impact of Greta specifically on social media, she had a really popular TEDx talk on climate crisis action, and it's had over 4 million views as of 2019. I'm sure it is much higher today. In terms of a post-COVID future, obviously that would impact Fridays for Future because gathering publicly was problematic, even though it's largely outdoors. I'll give you 3. The ideas of motivation, commitment, networks, and technology. The youth should focus on an issue, and they are specifically really worried about the existential threat from climate change. Technology reinforces participation commitment because if it's if you're in a network of technology, using it just kind of reinforces messages within it. This is the idea of the cycle of protest. There's a cyclical rise and fall in social justice activity, according to Tarot. And protesting restarted. The latest rise was in 2016, and I had the ... because you probably know why. It's that Trump fellow seemed to, whether you like him or not, he had a lot of opposition, a lot of support, a lot of opposition. It also foregrounds the idea of climate justice, where you link climate change to social justice, and youth are sensitive to climate justice issues. That was environmental activism, Fridays for Future. My name is Dino. Thanks for watching. Please feel free to like this video. Please feel free to share it. Please feel free to comment on it. And please feel free to subscribe to the channel if you like this type of video. Take care. Thanks for watching.